I was strongly willing to go watch this movie for various reasons. Mainly because a lot of people were talking about it like it was a bad movie, and I saw a lot of news talking about how of a failure financially this movie was going to be. Come on, they made $68 million against $200 million that it would cost. So I was a little bit sorry and a little bit confused of, is this movie really bad? Because I didn't see so many marketing around it, but it looks funny to me. So I went to watch with my girlfriend, and I'm here to bring out the review to make you understand why is this movie a failure, why I like this movie, and I recommend for you to go to watch it with some friends. So let's go with this review for Elementals from PIXAR. Alright, when you see that logo of PIXAR, I think something in your mind just clicks, and then you go and try to watch some fantastic cartoon experience when you go watch a movie. First of all, what do you think that is a characteristic from a Pixar movie? Mainly, it is something unique in terms of plot, and it's something to be revolutionary, or it is something that talks about very specific theme, but the way that they talk about it is something that adults catch, and then you get emotional. And in terms of that, when a kid catch it, it might not cry, but it is gonna like the movie because of what? Because of the visuals. The visuals of the movie are really important. The animation is something that is revolutionary. Even though if you talk about me, the animation, it is one of the best. It is the studio that has the best track record. And this movie, I'm not gonna talk crap about the animation of this movie. The animation for me is amazing for different reasons, because when you talk about the elementals, which are the fire, the water, the wind, and the earth ones, they have different animation styles. You see the fire is more vivid. You see the animation looks like a 2000s cartoon. The animation style, I don't know how to express myself on it, but it looks amazing. And then the water one is so fluid, and they have different aspects. Of course, the wind as well. They have similarities with the earth animation, but they have different styles, and this makes the movie unique for me, at least. The story was kind of lost in everything for me, because there were so many aspects they was trying to show, but they were focusing on the story of the fire character, which was a story of acceptance and a story of love as well. Because the movie, it is what it is about. It is basically about, if you think about the main theme, it is probably immigration, acceptance, and acceptance in many ways, because the immigration is talked about the fire element when father from the girl, which is the main character, they left their own country. You can say country because they were forced to, because of a storm that destroyed everything. They lost everything. They tried to restart their own lives, so they go to this mainland where all the elements live with each other besides the fire element. And you see that there's duality between anyone, because even his father, the grandfather of the main protagonist, he doesn't like that, because you're losing your essence, you're losing everything. So he was not willing to approve this movement, but he was doing that because he was trying to protect his family and trying to have a better life. Then you see all the difficulties that he has trying to find somewhere to live. So he goes to these abandoned places that you see a lot of times immigrants go to these far-fetched places that usually don't respect their culture, but they make their own culture there. And what happened was he put his store, the fire store, and then everyone from the fire country, they just came there throughout the years, and then they made a fire community over there. But you see that even when they have that, they don't have the recognition sometimes from people of the world, because they are fire elements. And instead of the people from real life, that they aren't actually harmful most of the times, the fire element is kind of harmful, because other them are gonna boil the water element, or they're gonna throw fire in the earth element, because there are a lot of plants. And you see that the way that they made the fire element dangerous, quotes element, dangerous, but they also made people see them as threats and sometimes don't accept that. And the other very hard, heavy aspect that the movie puts is the theme of honoring your parents. I am all for that. I think it was a fantastic thing that they approached, which is she realizes that his father and her father worked his ass off to maintain his position, and how much he sacrificed to be there, because he threw away his life with his family. He didn't get any recognition with his father, because he left, and he worked so hard to maintain his position, his status, and he was willing to pass the store for her. And for the most time she thought of that. You even realize like she wants that store, but as time goes by, when she's living with the water boy that I'm gonna stick out in a minute, she realizes that she needs to create her own wigs. She was actually wanting the acceptance of her father because she doesn't have the taste, or she doesn't have the touch to deal with customers, deal with a store for herself. So in the end, she realizes that she needs to just live her own life. But how is this she's gonna tell her, because it's gonna bring his father hard, because all this time she was trying to get the store to her name, but after all it wasn't what she wanted. But she wanted so bad to have that recognition, and I feel for that, because all I want as well was recognition from my parents, and sometimes it's hard for you to tell what are your dreams and what you're willing to do. So I think this is the basic elements of the story, and of course they throw the romance over there, which is the romance in the water boy and her, them being opposite elements. I think for me worked a lot, and he was the most we just say the open-minded, you can say that. And you can see the society most, sometimes the more open-minded quotes are the people who are like wealthier, because they have more options, you know. So they usually go, oh no, you need to follow your dreams and such and such. And of course this is not a shade or something that I'm throwing, but it is usually how it is. And she's even in the end tells him that he's lunatic and she cannot do what he's telling her to do. This duality is nice, even though I don't think it's nothing revolutionary. I think the opposites falling in love, I think this is completely normal. But you might be wondering, like everything that I told you right now, why did this movie flop? And I have some reasons. I'm gonna tell you like from the perspective of some rational viewer, which is basically, I think a lot of animations lately, not Pixar movies, but sometimes animations are going to a different path. And it is a path that some people don't like it. It's like, oh, they're trying to manipulate my kids, something like this. Oh, they're showing gay characters or something. Disney is already having kind of this backlash, and I don't think this movie has any of it. It doesn't have anything like that, and I'm sorry if you think so. Like if you didn't watch the movie, I'm sorry if you didn't watch the movie for telling something like that. Second of all, what happened in this movie was that it didn't have that good of a marketing. I am sorry. I think they didn't convince anyone to go watch this movie, I think. Another thing that happened for me is that the release date was a nightmare for them, because they released this movie in June, which was literally, I think, the worst month for them to release something. They got caught up in the middle with Fast and Furious, they got caught up with Transformers, they got caught with The Flash, they got caught with Spider-Man, they got caught up with all of those animations and projects, and then now you have the release of Elementals. Maybe they have something on their sleeve that they try to market this movie more, but it is a complete failure because of the poor release that they did the first weekend. And this is the basis for you to understand where is the movie going, if it's gonna flop or no. But if you're talking about the aspects of the story, at least for me, I think it lacked some originality, but it isn't a bad cartoon. It's not that original, but I think it's something that you go on and you can enjoy yourself if you have some aspect of your life that you think that might coexist with that, like if you're an immigrant, or if you are if you have difficulties on opening yourself to your parents. I think this movie is gonna be fantastic for you, because they show these aspects perfectly. I almost cried 2 times in the movie, so I think this emotion caught me. But I think for me the movie is a solid 7.5. I think it's okay. I think if you go with Sun, you're gonna like it. It doesn't deserve to have a lost track record of receiving just $60 million against $200 million. I don't think they deserve that. I think they deserve to have like $500 million a box office. I think it is completely okay. It is not a breathtaking movie for you to have $1 billion, so I think $500 million is completely fair for them. And please go watch it. Go watch it with your son, go watch it with your nephew, go watch it with anyone. I think it's a good movie. I think it's gonna entertain you and sometimes give you a good perspective on life. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys on the next review, in the next video. So goodbye and peace.